The spring morning was perfect for a wedding. Sunlight filtered through the curtains of the hotel room where Denise was making her final preparations. At 30 years old, the brown-haired, expressive-eyed nutritionist was finally about to experience the day she had long dreamed of. Observing her reflection in the mirror as the makeup artist made the final touches, Denise took a deep breath. The journey to this point had not been easy. For 15 years, she shared her life with Kevin, her teenage love. She remembered perfectly the day she met him, in the first year of high school. Kevin, with his confident smile and laid-back athlete manner, easily won her over. "Nervous?" asked Mariana, her best friend and maid of honor. "A little," Denise replied, adjusting the veil, "but it's a good kind of nervousness." Mariana knew Denise's story well. She had been present in every difficult moment, especially during the breakup with Kevin. "If anyone deserves this perfect day, it's you," Mariana affirmed, gently squeezing her friend's hands. The years with Kevin had been marked by a comfortable routine. He had become a physical education teacher at a local school, while Denise was building her career as a nutritionist in a respected clinic in the city. As time went by, Denise watched her friends move on to different life stages, marriages, children, new homes, while her relationship seemed to be in perpetual pause. Every time she was asked to be a godmother, a role she had played more than 5 times, she felt a mix of joy and melancholy. The uncomfortable questions from family and friends about when her own wedding would be had a rehearsed answer. "Kevin is focusing on his career, but I'm sure he'll propose soon." The words came out with a smile that didn't convince anyone. The transformation in her life began a few months ago, after a visit to her cousin who had just had a baby. Denise clearly remembered the pleasant weight of the newborn in her arms, the smell of baby powder, the tiny fingers wrapping around her index finger. Her heart overflowed with tenderness and longing. Kevin, on the other hand, remained distant throughout the visit, checking his phone and seeming eager to leave. In the car, on the way to her apartment, Denise finally mustered the courage. "I want a baby," she said, breaking the silence. Kevin almost slammed on the brakes. "What? Now? You want a baby now?" he stammered. "Not now, someday," Denise explained, the words flowing like a long-held confession. "I want to get married. I want us to have our own home and not have to say goodbye after each date. I want a garden to care for. I want a large dining table with children around it." The silence that followed was deafening. Then came the response that would change everything. "Denise, what are you talking about? What's all this for? I would never want something like that." Those words hit her like a storm. Suddenly she realized that 15 years of relationship had been built on a fragile foundation. They had started so young that they never seriously discussed the future, and now they discovered fundamentally different desires. When Kevin parked in front of her apartment, Denise felt the weight of the decision she had to make. She embraced him and gave him a kiss that carried farewell. "Kevin, I think this is our goodbye," she whispered. "Yes, see you tomorrow," he replied, unconcerned. "No, Kevin, there won't be a tomorrow for us because tomorrow is too little for me. I want a future, a forever," she explained, tears escaping uncontrollably, her trembling voice revealing the pain of the decision. His response was the last clear sign. "If that's how you want it, it's fine by me." 15 years discarded so easily. No fight, no negotiation, no apparent pain on his part. The following months were difficult. Denise immersed herself in work to avoid thinking about it, but the nights were long and full of memories. Through mutual friends, she learned that Kevin didn't waste any time enjoying the single life, attending parties and going out with various women. The pain of how easily he replaced her made her ask friends not to tell her anything more about him. It was during a nutrition conference, 6 months after the breakup, that Denise met Damien. Tall, with gentle eyes and a shy smile, he caught her attention during a lecture on sports nutrition. They ended up sitting side by side in a practical workshop, and the conversation flowed naturally. "I can't believe you are also specialized in eating disorders, commented Denise, surprised by the coincidences. And you in sports nutrition? It seems we have complementary specializations, replied Damien, his eyes shining with genuine interest. They exchanged contacts, and in the following days, professional messages soon gave way to personal conversations. They discovered common interests in old movies, outdoor walks, and cooking healthy dishes. The first meeting was in a small and cozy restaurant. The conversation was so engaging that they didn't notice when the place started to empty out. The waiter had to kindly inform them that they were closing. "Can I invite you for a walk in the botanical park on Sunday?" Damien asked, appearing nervous for the first time that night. Denise hesitated. She still carried wounds from the previous relationship and feared jumping into something new too soon. But there was something about Damien, a tranquility, a presence, that made her feel safe. "I would love to," she finally replied. Each meeting confirmed what Denise had begun to suspect. Damien was different. She appreciated how he spoke openly about his feelings, how he asked about hers, and how he respected her space and time. When he introduced her to his family 3 months later, Denise immediately felt welcomed. Damien's mother, a grey-haired woman with a warm smile, embraced her as if she had known her for years. His father, a reserved man with a kind gaze, showed genuine interest in her career. "I've never seen my son so happy," Damien's mother confided while they helped prepare dinner. "You've brought light to his eyes." Damien's friends also welcomed her with open arms, and soon Denise found herself building solid new friendships. She realized how her social circle had narrowed in recent years with Kevin, who preferred to spend time only with his long-standing friends. The moment that marked a definitive turning point happened when Damien bought a house. A simple but cozy construction, with a small garden in the back, and enough space to grow, as he said with a meaningful look. "I need your help to furnish it," he said one day, holding her hand. "You have good taste and, well, I hope you enjoy spending time here too." When they went to the furniture store to choose a dining table, Denise pointed to a compact model, suitable for a few people. "Actually," Damien interrupted, "I was thinking of something bigger." He led her to a large, solid wood table with space for at least 8 people. "I want a very big one because I dream of it being full of children someday." Denise's heart almost stopped. She instantly recalled the conversation in the car with her ex-boyfriend Kevin, how her dreams had been dismissed in seconds. Now, here was someone verbalizing exactly what her heart desired, without her needing to ask. With less than a year into their relationship, Damien took her to a candlelit dinner in the garden of their new, partially furnished house. Under a starry sky, he knelt with a small velvet box and asked the question Denise had longed for so much in her life. "Denise, would you give me the honor of building this future with me? House, garden, table full of children, everything. Will you marry me?" The tears came instantly, but this time they were of joy. "Yes, of course, yes!" And now, 6 months later, the wedding day had finally arrived. The ceremony would take place in a century-old church, decorated with white flowers and golden details. 200 guests awaited the bride's entrance. Denise was radiant in her lace dress, which accentuated her delicate silhouette. The car dropped her off at the entrance of the church. She took a deep breath, holding the bouquet tightly, ready to take the most important step of her life. It was at that exact moment that she saw Kevin approaching. Even from a distance, she would recognize that posture anywhere. 15 years together had given her that knowledge. He was wearing a dark suit, apparently bought for the occasion, his hair shorter than she remembered. The guests who were waiting for the bride's entrance noticed the immediate tension. Murmurs filled the air when Denise, surprising everyone, calmly asked for the doors to be closed again, needing a moment. "What are you doing here, Kevin?" she asked, keeping her voice low, aware of the curious glances. "Denise," he began, looking nervous, his hands restless. I made a mistake. These months without you made me realize how important you are. I heard about the wedding and I couldn't let it happen without trying. Denise watched him closely. There was something different about him, a vulnerability he had never shown before. I changed my mind, Kevin continued. I want everything you want. You were my first love. You can't get married. I can't lose you. A heavy silence settled between them. Denise felt a storm of emotions, surprise, confusion. However, instead of the hesitation that Kevin possibly expected, a calm certainty filled her. Kevin, she began, her voice surprisingly firm, we have been together for 15 years, and during all this time the possibility of marriage was never mentioned by you. What you are feeling now that I am about to get married is that you are losing something you always thought you would have forever. He tried to interrupt, but Denise gently raised her hand, asking to continue. I sincerely hope you find your way and someone to walk in the same direction. I have found my walking partner, and he is waiting for me. Kevin's shoulders visibly fell. Perhaps for the first time he understood what he had lost. I truly wish you happiness, he finally said, his voice choked. I guess I always thought we would have more time. The time we had was precious, Kevin. But now it's time to move on. She smiled gently, without resentment. Kevin nodded, slowly stepping away. Denise watched him leave, feeling not regret, but gratitude for the journey that had brought her to this point. That chapter of her life was finally closing completely. The doors of the church opened once more. The murmurs ceased as Denise appeared, radiant. Her gaze met Damien's at the altar. He was smiling nervously, his eyes shining with emotion. With every step she took towards the future she had chosen, Denise felt her certainty grow. It wasn't about Kevin or Damien. It was about following her heart, respecting her own dreams, finding someone who shared the same vision of life. When she finally reached the altar and Damien took her hands in his, whispering, "You look absolutely stunning," Denise knew that she was exactly where she was meant to be. The past had been necessary to lead her to the perfect present she now lived. We are gathered here today, the officiant began. Denise and Damien exchanged knowing glances. The large dining table in their new home awaited to be filled with memories, children's laughter, and love. Lots of love. This was just the beginning. Each person has their own time to understand what they truly want from life, and that's okay. Some take years to realize they are not on the right path, while others discover early what they want and proceed with courage. The most important thing is to have clarity about the direction you want to go and, especially, with whom you choose to walk. Love is not just about feelings, but about shared dreams, about building together and wanting the same future. Denise not only found a partner, she found someone who walked the same path, with the same steps and the same heart. If you enjoyed the story, please leave a comment with a rating from 1 to 5 to show how much you liked it. Also, watch the video that is now appearing on your screen. See you soon.